10:15 a.m. After locating Mozart, I decided to indulge in a little night music myself.
That doesn't sleep. And find king of the hill. Ha! Top of the heat.
Sergeant Tuesday.
Oh, gee.
Do you realize you were singing out loud?
Sorry about that, sir. It's just that they just don't write music like that anymore, and I found myself getting a little carried away. And
yeah, it's okay.
This is a beautiful place you have here with the CDs, the cassettes, and the music scores. And what else do you have around here?
Well, on the floor, there's a slide collection, which is used by faculty for teaching.
Uh-huh.
And there's an art and architecture office. Mm-hmm. They have a general circulating collection and a limited access collection. And this might interest you. They maintain a very useful picture file. And in addition to all of that, there's the architecture reading room in 102 Slocum Hall, where they have reserved materials for architecture courses and current architecture periodicals. Perhaps you'd like to browse their holdings.
I got to get back to my case here. I got to get back and cracking and finishing up this list. But I'll tell you, you could do me one big favor. Could you show me where the 6th floor is?
Take the elevator.
Gotcha.
10:30 a.m. 6th floor Bird Library. I ran into some trouble.
Yes, we do have Stephen Crane's books and original letters here. This is the George Arendt's Research Library for Special Collections. We house such items as non-current departmental records and the papers of former faculty members and materials relating to the history of the university. We also have manuscript collections, the books and papers of Mike Wallace, Dorothy Thompson, Dr. Benjamin Spock, and Stephen Crane. We have papyrus pages and a leaf from the Gutenberg Bible. All materials must be used in the reading room, and you must have 2 forms of identification to gain access to the collections.
What should I do then, ma'am? It says here, examine the author's intent in a segment of Stephen Crane's Red Badge of Courage.
You may still examine the books, but most of the time, unless you're doing specialized research, the books and magazines you'll use will be located in the general collections of the library.
Okay. I hate to trouble you, but I have one more question. Where would I possibly go to find a map of Fort Lauderdale?
Try the 5th floor, the map collection.
Thanks, ma'am.
10:45 a.m. Found the Fort Lauderdale map.
Over 155,000 maps. It's one of the largest collections of maps in the state. Here's your map of Fort Lauderdale.
Thanks, ma'am. Is it possible to get a copy of this?
Yes, in the basement, on the 1st floor, or you can have it enlarged if you like in copy services.
Copy services?
Yes, in the basement. They have machines that can enlarge and reduce, even ones that can copy in color.
Well, thanks.
11 a.m. Copy services. I found everything on the list and was ready to wrap it up for the day when trouble reared its ugly head.
Wait right here. I'm calling security.
It's just a scratch. What's the big deal?
Excuse me, ma'am. May I be of some assistance? Sergeant Tom Tuesday, SU Security.
Yes. I found this young man scribbling graffiti all over the table.
It's poetry. Go ahead, read it.
I don't think so, pal. I'm taking you in.
On what charge?
Defacing library property. Turn around. You have the right to a quiet study area. If you give up that right, anything you say and do can and will disturb your fellow students. You have the right to a smoke-free environment. You have the right to use library materials and books that have not been abused or vandalized. You have the right to access materials and the right to taking out library books.
1 p.m. Back at headquarters, received a visit from the freshman in question. Another satisfied customer.
Here's my report. It's all there.
This is great. You found everything.
Open and shut case.
The Mozart, book on Stephen Crane, even the map. This is
There
great.
you go.
Listen, I gotta go do my homework now. Thanks for everything, Sergeant Tuesday. If you're ever in Watson, stop by, and it's room 220. And, I'll treat you to dinner at the dining hall.
Thanks, but no thanks.
No?
I can't accept gifts.
Oh, forgot.
And
Yes?
if you ever need help again, ask a librarian. Ignorance doesn't pay.